Welcome to MILF,
I'm Courtney,
and I'm Jennifer.
and we are two moms into literary freedom. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Moms into Literary Freedom with your best friends, Courtney and Jen.
Welcome back.
Are you excited to talk about sports?
Sure.
In
I was excited,
a very
and now I'm
special
not so sure.
context. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, first let's talk about well, I don't know. So heated rivalry I didn't hear about until Mom Donnie was talking about it, and you had already known it was a book and a Netflix series, and you had to be like, Courtney, it's a TV show, and I had no idea.
Yeah. So it's been popular on Book Talk for a moment. I guess
Uh-huh.
because the show was coming out, it became popular again. And so I was having serious FOMO because I kept seeing people talking about the show who have read the book. And I was like, well, shit, now I have to read it and I want to be in the know. And so I didn't want to start the show until I read the book.
Hmm.
And it turns out Heated Rivalry is the second book of the
Mm.
series. And the
Hmm.
first book has nothing to do with these characters, not really. It's two separate characters.
Oh, okay.
So I read the first book and then I got to Heated Rivalry and then I started watching the show. I have only gotten one episode down because I always have my kids around. And
Mm. Is it not a
there's
pro for kids?
no, it's not.
Not even like middle schoolers? Like it's like
Oh,
even
it's
wait, what net?
HBO.
Oh,
So
I was just about to say, what network is this
yeah.
on? Because I'm picturing like you can watch literally anything on Netflix and be fine, but like HBO,
Yeah.
different
It's
story.
HBO. It's
Okay,
good.
so
Don't get me wrong. It's a really good show.
it's got to be on HBO if it's going to be spicy.
Yeah.
Okay. I wrote, here's the book, Heated Reverie by a woman, of course, that's not a surprise. Rachel Reed. Not that a gay man wouldn't be good at writing this stuff too, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think
I'm
some
actually,
people were hoping that it was a gay man that wrote it because
yeah, yeah.
it's, but
Women are just really good at writing spicy stuff. But
yeah.
yeah, I would assume a gay man could be just. I'm reading actually Chick Lit right now, written by a guy. And I was like really thrown by that when I found out that I was reading a chick lit book, and it was a dude. And I was like, well, hey, anyone can do anything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Who am
It's
I to judge?
unexpected, but every now and then they put out a banger.
So her name is Rachel Reed. The back of the book says that she's always lived in Nova Scotia, which, ooh, I want to go there, Canada, and will likely continue to do so. That's code for I'm never gonna move to America because why the fuck would I do that?
Don't blame
She
you.
is this is awesome. She has two boring degrees, it literally says boring, and two interesting sons. Okay.
All
She has
right.
been a hockey fan since childhood, but sadly never made it to the NHL herself. I wonder why. She sounds awesome.
So I just was looking up something about her, and unfortunately, because it's sad news, it looks like she might have been diagnosed with Parkinson's recently.
Oh, dang.
So I don't know if that's a recent thing or she
Oh,
just had an
yeah.
article come out about it, but that is kind of sad.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
This book gets a lot of praise. I mean, I like the praise on on the front cover. It says, "The book that got me into hockey romance, NPR's Weekend Edition." I'm like, "Wh- is hockey romance a genre?"
It is.
Like, oh,
It is. I have several books that are.
what? There are multiple authors that write about
So
hockey
after
romance?
you read these, you've got to read Emily Rath's Hockey Romance. Also very good. I've read like three of those so far.
Mind is blown right now.
Yeah. And then I think I have a few here on my shelf that are hockey romances too, you
Okay,
know.
we're
So
so
yeah.
different. It's amazing. It's awesome. We're perfect for each other because here I am reading the 1619 projects. And
And
I'm
I'm like,
like,
give me all the hockey romance.
I mean, I give myself breaks and I am reading this chick lit book, but I was reading the 1619 project because it's February, it's Black History Month, and we're supposed to cover a Black History book, right? Um,
Yeah.
but it's such a heavy dense read that we're not going to be able to get to it in the month of February. And I don't blame that on my laziness or lack of trying. I blame that on February being the shortest month, and
Yeah.
Black History should be celebrated every month of the year.
Yeah, and we should be reading diversely
Mm,
every month, not just in
right. Yeah.
February, or not just reading Latin authors in October. So
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
always. So
Or
I try to
indigenous
read
in it. Or,
diversely, but sometimes I don't pay attention
mhm.
to the author. I just like, oh, I'm very much a this cover is pretty. I want to read it type of
Mhm.
girl.
Yeah.
Just a
I mean,
girl.
listen, the world that we're living in, like we got to just do what feeds our soul.
Yeah.
And that's just like a band or like an excuse, I guess, for like our ADHD personalities where like we cannot be organized to save our lives. And I don't mean to clump you into my ADHD category,
No,
but
no, you're right.
I do not have the ability to like I it would be we've talked about like, oh, this month we'll do a book like this, like we were just
Yeah.
saying, and it's like that we failed miserably at that.
Yeah.
But that's okay because we're just gonna do it the way that works for us.
We're also moms. We have
Yeah.
jobs.
Hmm.
We're busy. And
Hmm.
so reading to me is a hobby. I love reading, and I don't want it to become the type of thing where it feels like a chore because then,
Yeah.
reading is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Sometimes I'm like, I want to read this book, but my mind is not in the mood to
Hmm.
read that. And so I can't get past the first couple of pages.
Hmm. That yeah, and it's weird, and I don't know how to say it. I don't want to like sound, I don't know, I don't want to sound weird, but like when I'm reading the 1619 Project, like I'm
Yeah.
genuinely enjoying it because I'm just like that kind of nerd. Whereas like I don't know, like I tried to read this one book, I can't remember the name of it, but I was listening to it because it was an audiobook that was narrated by James Marsters, who's the actor in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He played Spike.
Oh, okay.
And
I like his voice.
yeah, and it's about wizards and stuff. I was like, I'm gonna give myself a break and listen to this book.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get into it. I was like, no, I want to go back to like, reading about the Guatemalan coup and the 1619 project. And
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like a snooty asshole when I'm saying that.
I
Because
don't
I
think
don't
that
know.
makes
I
you a
just
snooty asshole. I think
okay.
the only time it becomes an issue for me is when they're like, well, this is all I read and
Yeah.
what you read is trash.
No,
Because
I think
people
it's
will say
great.
that. But if you're not saying that and you're just like, this is what I like to read,
Hmm.
cool, there's nothing wrong with liking what you like,
Yeah.
you know?
No, and I want to try new books. There's a new book out, and I'm sure you've seen it. And I can't remember it, of course, but it's like a video game and a book, and the cover and the first name is Carl.
Dungeon Carl, Dungeon
Yeah,
Crawler Carl. So
yeah.
good. I have it.
Okay, see, that's a book that I'm like, okay, because I'm not always gonna read nerdy
Might
books
be in
all
my
the time.
room.
Okay,
So my son ate that
loves
series
it.
up. And that series, like
Really?
when you stack these books,
Yay!
like
They're
this is what my
huge.
current read, it's
Uh-huh.
tiny, right?
Yeah,
These books are thick.
yeah.
And during the summer, they're not meant for kids. Like
Uh,
it's not a kid book, it's an
uh,
adult book. But my son ate this series up.
I love it.
He read it in June. He read all 7 books.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Okay. And like, literally, he would finish one. And I read it first, and I was like, he's gonna
Uh-huh.
like this book. So I was
Hmm.
like, here, read it. He did. The audiobook, excellent. It's
Really?
so funny. It's try it. Give it a
Yeah,
try.
I
It's
want
so
to.
good.
Yeah. Cause I used to read, like as an 11-year-old, I fell in love with Harry Potter, and that was like the book that kind of like got me into like real reading, but that ever since then it was just sort of hard to find like, other kind of fantasy books like that I could really get
Yeah.
into. And now, those series it hits different now.
Yeah. And this is not a
Unfortunately.
fantasy. It is considered, I guess, a fantasy book, but there's a different name for it, and I can't think of what it's called.
Video game fantasy.
It's something like RPM or something because it's like a
Role
player
play?
game.
Or
Yeah, role player. Some it's something like that.
I've heard of
So
like
good though.
world building. Here we are. We're two people with a book podcast, and we know nothing about like the nerdy
Yeah,
things
well,
that like real readers know about.
I hear those words a lot too. Like in fantasy series, there's a lot of world building because it's
World building.
different, different
Hmm.
worlds that you're not really on planet Earth or it's not like this current time or it's
Hmm.
just different. Um, but yeah, I'm not great at,
Have
Just
you heard of
just give me more of the character plots and less of
you
the
like the
rest.
characters? Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that's I've heard that before. It's like some people really enjoy the world building aspect and some people really enjoy the character aspect of it. Um, I've heard of Sands of Time or something. Is that what it's called? Have you heard
I
of
feel
that
like
one
I've
before?
heard of that one, but I'm not familiar with
It's
it.
really famous and it was turned into like a TV show that got canceled pretty quickly, I think. But anyway, I
Oh,
don't know. There was a lot of world building in that. Anyway, back to this book.
yeah.
Lighthearted, easy read, and I don't mean that as an insult. I think people
No.
look for easy reads, right?
Yeah.
But the visibility here, obviously, is I think why we're covering this book because it's about it's a gay romance.
Right.
And so just to, talk about why we chose this book, going back to that, I saw something about Mem Mamdani said it like he was a fan of the book. And I was like, oh, another reason for me to love him, right? And so that's what got me into it. And then I saw this reel on Instagram of like I'm sure you saw it, like the two dudes that did not know they were watching a gay romance TV show. They thought they were watching a TV show about hockey.
I've
You ever
seen a
have
few
you?
edits of guys actually watching it and actually enjoying the show.
Yeah, and then I feel like they're just like, okay, well, I'm into this now, as long as they're not homophobes.
Right. And I think that's what the book has a lot to do with. It talks about homophobia in a sports team, or
Oh,
sports
really?
um
Like a sports setting?
sports setting, thank you. And you'll see that a lot because they're male dominated sports, and so there is a lot of homophobia in it.
Hmm.
Um and at the time of the books, right, there was no, and I don't know if in real life if there's any out hockey players because I don't really follow hockey, so I don't know. I
Hmm.
do know that after watching this, or I'm not sure if reading the books or just watching the show and seeing the popularity of it, there was a hockey player who came out
Oh.
and said it was because of the visibility in the book and like it
Oh
encouraged
my
him
God.
to, speak his truth. So that was really cool.
That is
Um,
so
yeah,
cool.
and if you, without giving too much of the book away, the book is about two right? Heated rivalry uh players on different
Hmm.
teams. And throughout the years, they like hate each other on the ice, but off the ice, whenever they play a game together or are in the same area, they hook up.
What?
Yeah.
They hate each other, but
I'm like,
wait,
let me
no,
not give
they.
it away. And then I go and I give it away.
Oh, okay, well, hold on, because I think I dog-eared this page, which I know is a sin in book reading, the book reading world, but and my daughter kind of like accidentally found this book and like she likes to just like read the books that we cover on the podcast, but not like thoroughly. Like she'll just like pick it
Right.
up and like read a random page. And then she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna read this book." And I was like, "Yeah, you're not really supposed to read that
No,
book."
it's very
Um,
spicy.
yeah, like, and I said, it's a book about, it's a romance, right? About two people in love, but, do you think that that's something that you'd be interested in reading? And she was like, no. And I was like, see, I mean, I don't know. So anyway, here it is. It says, he just needed an hour or so to himself. The weekend had been challenging for a lot of reasons. He had tried to keep some distance between himself and Ilya, both because he couldn't trust himself not to touch him in some telling way, and also because the media was so obsessed with the two of them playing together despite, quote, hating each other, that he didn't want to go give them any fuel. And he supposed he didn't want to change the narrative either. The rivalry was good for the league, good for their careers, and most importantly, it was a very good cover for the truth. And I didn't read the book, but when I read that, I was like, oh, that seems like it might be a really good summary of the whole book.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Um,
I mean, the title is Heated Rivalry, so that makes sense.
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's like I like it goes spans through like when they first meet and goes, throughout the years. So I like that it spans like a good decade or maybe more of them
Hey,
like
that's pretty
seeing each
cool.
other,
Yeah.
not ever really having a relationship, but
Mhm.
just how it progresses and how they realize that they have feelings for each other.
Mhm.
And it is a cute story with a lot of spice.
Mhm. So I
Give
did
me a
a quick
second.
Google search when you said that thing about a hockey player that came out. I did a quick Google search, and here's an Us Weekly article from January 15th. It says, inspired by the hit show Heated Rivalry, hockey player Jesse Courtuam came out as
Yeah.
gay, saying, "There's room for all of us on the ice," and reflected on the challenges of expressing his identity in a traditionally masculine sport. So I don't know what team he plays for because I don't know
It
hockey,
looks
but
like
it
he's a
says,
former hockey player, so retired.
oh, okay, Vancouver something. Um, Yeah, that's all I could see from the Us Weekly post. Still, either way, cool. I'm sure there are like, because hockey, it's a big league,
Yeah.
and it's also not like as popular as like the NBA. I mean, it's pretty popular, but it's a lot more popular now because of, this and also the Olympics, which is something we'll get into as well.
Yeah.
Um, Okay, so I tried. So after Mom Donnie gives a nod to the book Heated Rivalry, that's what I'm trying to find. And I found a New York Times article, but it's behind a paywall, so I can't read it. So that's super fun. But basically, he said he told New York City to stay home and read Heated Rivalry during the snowstorm that they had in January. So that prompted the New York Public Library to let me see. Did you hear about this at all?
Not sure. No.
No.
Checking
To
up that
offer
you have your
free
hand up.
what?
You have your hand up. So I was like, why is there a little hand up there?
Sorry. Oh,
You
I don't
see
know why.
it?
Yeah, I see it. Zoom thinks that I'm raising my hand. It's fine. I'm not. I don't know how to put it down. Uh, stupid Zoom. Come on. Lower hand. There we go. My hand is lowered. There we go. So because Mom Donnie was like, "Hey, stay home during the snowstorm and read this book," the New York Public Library was like, "Free books for everyone," and they offered free access to the book Heated Rivalry on ebook or audiobook for anyone with a library card, which I think was just their way of getting people to get their library cards, which was awesome.
Yeah. I think that's really cool. I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. It only takes like one popular book to make, or one good book to make someone a reader.
Hmm.
And so I'm not advocating for this book. Obviously, this book is not meant for high school,
No,
but
no,
they're
no.
acting like these are the books that are in high school, and they're
Yeah,
not. This
yeah.
is definitely a more mature book,
Okay.
more explicit, I guess you can say. It's not porn. Again, it's still not porn. There's still
Right. Well,
context
because
and a plot, and there's
exactly.
more to it than just smut. So
And also,
it's just spicier than other books.
I think that porn means visual, you know.
Right.
So that's could just be my opinion, but like that, in this whole debate, like book porn, I don't think books qualify as porn because, and
Yeah.
also to your, the Miller test too, there's a story, um, you know, there's character development, but there aren't any pictures. But
Right.
again, I didn't read it. But if you're saying it's not something that you would think should be in high school, but at the same time, I guess if we want to have this conversation, kids are having sex in high school.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And if, let's say, maybe I had a junior or senior that wanted to read this,
Hmm.
I think I'd be okay with them reading it.
Hmm.
I'm thinking now, although I have adult children, right? My
Hmm.
mindset now is with school age kids. Mine are in middle school, right? The ones that are still school aged. Definitely not middle school material.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely maybe not ninth, 10th grade,
Hmm.
maybe 10th, depending on maturity or whatever. But if a kid is having certain feelings, I could see them wanting to read a book like this. I was reading books with this kind of context in it,
Hmm.
spicy books like this in high school. I just didn't get it from my library. So I
Right.
get that.
So that's another argument. Part of this argument is like, well, maybe there's a place for these books like this in public libraries, but not in school
Right.
libraries.
Yeah,
But
and that's what I meant.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm still open because it's like whatever, like why school became this like prude environment where we
right.
pretend like sex doesn't exist, when really school is the place where we should be talking about sex and like, hey,
Yeah,
read this book instead of going and having sex with someone.
right.
But I know we're like decades, if not centuries away from being that kind of society. Um, but I don't know. It's just something to mention. Um, have you heard? There's a book. I just did a quick Google search to see like what are some like PG-13 gay romance books. And there's one on Goodreads that has like almost 13,000 ratings. It's called Something Like Summer, and it's by
Okay.
J. Bell. Um, I don't know if you'd heard of it, but I just thought,
No.
I'm sure there's lots of like of books out there now that, you know, kids could read if they wanted to.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Is like I feel like it is an adult book, not it's not YA. It's not meant to be YA.
Hmm.
So it is a little more adult themed.
Hmm.
But hey, if a kid's like I said, if my kid wanted to read a book, I'm like, here, read it. I'm happy
Right.
to have them read.
But that's
Um,
another argument for like your categories,
yeah,
like your YA versus your, I don't know, not YA. Like what do you call books that are not in the YA category? Just like adult
just yeah,
A?
just fiction, I guess, or
Right.
romance.
Yeah. And I'm not like taking a stance on, I'm just sort of like thinking about all the things because there's a lot of variables that do go into this.
Yeah, I could just see that I don't see a school media specialist or librarian going, yeah, I'm gonna put this book in our library.
Yeah,
I don't
especially
see them.
now.
Yeah, I don't. But
They'd be
even
afraid they're
before
getting
that,
fired.
I don't
Yeah.
see that they would probably do that. Maybe,
Right. Right.
you know, like it's not like the book All Boys Aren't Blue,
That
but
was a
that was
memoir.
more of a memoir, right, in someone's lived experience, and it was talking about something that happened to them that was not a good thing.
Hmm.
Um, that's different. Like, and the fact that they were trying to say that that was smutty or, pornographic was
Right.
gross,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. If
Like,
anything's smutty, it's this.
yeah, this is definitely smutty. It's a good smut. I, I
There's
love my
nothing wrong
smutty
with
books,
smut.
so I'm not
Yeah.
downing it at all.
Hmm.
But it is more adult.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So like a good summary of that would be, that smut maybe doesn't have a role in school libraries as much as books like All Boys Aren't Blue, which is a memoir about a lived experience, about being a gay man.
Right.
Hmm. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Mhm.
Like I
Although
just
I
don't
still,
see, I don't imagine like I said, a school media center or a librarian saying, I'm going to put this book in our library.
no,
But
yeah,
that is kind of like what the Monster Liberty types
hmm
um are pretending is happening. And that
hmm
is not what's happening. I
yeah,
guess that's my point. Like this is not happening.
this would never be in the, and
No.
in our high school, when I was in high school, there were smutty books that did describe like sex in detail, right? Without ever using like, descriptive words, which I'm going to use in a minute. So turn it down if you don't want me to say that. But like, there was never like use of the word like cock or, pussy or anything like that. It was always
Yeah.
just like, sh she grabbed his shaft or something like that,
His
you know?
throbbing member,
Right.
stuff like
Or
that.
her fuzzy mound or some like weird
Yeah.
shit like that. And in this book that I'm talking about, which we've talked about before, is the it's called the Earth Children series, which makes it sound pedophiliac, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's like Clan of the Cave Bear and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Um, but I could see how like a librarian might or a media specialist might be like, oh, this is an anthropological fiction that actually educates the reader about hunter-gatherer times. And so like that
Right.
would sort of, if we're talking about the Miller tests, right? It would give it that extra like protection of it not being smut, right?
Right.
So I could see how that would be, in there, even though those books are probably long removed from the high school libraries at
Yeah.
this point because of all the silent or what's it called, quiet banning that we're seeing.
Right.
Mhm.
In this book, like I said, you will have words like cock and dick and,
There we
you
go.
know,
Okay. Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
toys and all sorts of stuff are brought up. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it
Uh-huh.
is a lot smuttier, like I said.
Hmm.
It's the type of thing that if I would play for my husband, he would blush.
I wonder
It'll make you
what
blush.
that would. Oh man, that would be like a good social media reel just to see their reaction. What are you playing? Um,
I have played the Emily Rath book for him before. And that has more to do with polygamy. And so it was like a scene between the group.
oh,
He was
polygamy or
like
orgies? Because there's a difference
no,
between
polygamy.
polygamy. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, it was a good scene. My husband was like, what are you trying to tell me?
That's funny.
And I was like, nothing. It's just a really good book.
Yeah, I want you to. I want a sister wife. All right, should we transition into the NHL or not the NHL, the
Olympic hockey
what do we call that?
Olympic hockey team,
Yeah,
right?
Olympics. Yeah, the United States Olympic team. Yeah. Because that's different from the NHL. I know sports.
Yes.
Look at me knowing all these sports. The Olympics is not a thing that I'm generally interested in. I'm just picking up like the hot gossip here with the hockey teams, right?
Right.
In my one of my group chats at work, all the women got super excited when the women won gold.
Right.
So that's how I learned because I don't give a shit, but the people at my work give a shit. And so I was like, oh, cool. U.S. women's hockey got a gold medal. That's great.
Yeah. And so from what I'm understanding from what I've seen too, they did it before the men did it.
3 whole days before. I have a
Yes.
funny story. Well, an Instagram thing that I saw. Um, this little girl was or her dad was watching the men's hockey game, and he was like, the Olympic hockey game is on if anyone wants to watch it. And the little girl was like, well, they already won gold. Why are we watching it again? And then the mom was like, and then I had to explain to her that sometimes boys like to play hockey too. It's like, yes, that generation of
Yeah.
that little girl's generation is growing up in just a completely different world now, and that is a victory.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I love that. So
Mhm.
if you live under a rock, and maybe you do know, no
I
judgment,
live under a rock, and I know these things. So,
you might not know that there's been a big controversy with the men's Olympic team, US men's, of course, the US.
yeah,
Uh, who else, right?
yeah, right.
They won very similar to the women's in overtime, and Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, was there for some reason. Um, on our tax dime, flew in for business,
Which he
and
has done so many other times. Like
yeah,
he treats that jet just like it's, I don't know,
yeah,
his own personal Kia or something.
for date nights with his girlfriend,
Mhm.
just random stuff. So, yeah, supposedly he was on business. I'm not sure what the director of FBI business has to do with the Olympics. Anything that the FBI had involvement in would have been done weeks beforehand, not the day of the game. And he is celebrating in the locker room with them, chugging beers and celebrating and being rowdy. And they get the president on the phone, and the president makes, as he normally does, a sexist joke or says something sexist
Mhm.
along the lines of, he invites the US hockey team, the men's US hockey team, to the White House. And
Mhm.
he says, well, unfortunately, or something to that effect, I'm going to also have to invite the women's team.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I'll get impeached.
Yeah, and they
And
all laughed.
they all laughed.
Mhm.
Like, haha. So, which I don't get the joke.
Mm-mm.
What was funny?
No, nothing was funny. They're just
Nothing was
laughing
funny.
because it's a president and well, one, they're misogynist
Yeah.
and sexist, and two, they're just laughing because they think that he is amazing because he's the president and they don't have the critical thinking skills to be like, oh, just because he's the president doesn't mean I have to laugh with him and actually build his ego. Anyway,
So they've gotten a lot of backlash because before that, they've been very supportive of the women's hockey team.
really?
That's my understanding is that they've been very supportive. They've showed up to their games and vice versa. And, they've been rooting for each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see how the women's team could be like, okay, you just gave us a big fuck you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they thought it wouldn't get out. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be pissed
Yeah,
off
like
that
I'm
you
so
weren't like,
glad.
oh, they won fair and square, they deserve it as much as we do.
I'm so glad that that video went viral because, I mean, he should have called them 3 days earlier, but he
Exactly.
didn't because he's a misogynist asshole. And it kind of just reiterates the point that we live in a male-dominated society where women are seen as inferior to men.
Yeah.
And it drives important conversations like these. And it provides opportunities for men to do the right thing, which here is the good part of the story. There were five men's hockey players, U.S. men's hockey players, who skipped the State of the Union. And hold on, they had something to say about turning down the invite and that phone call. Okay, so maybe they skipped not just the State of the Union, but something else. So it says when five players from the U.S. men's hockey team didn't attend the White House and President Donald Trump's State of the Union address, their absence naturally made headlines. Was this supposed to be during the State of the Union?
That's what apparently they were there, and which is funny because they keep saying sports doesn't belong in politics. So why would
Yeah,
they stay for the State of the Union? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
weird.
Hmm. All right, so the goal scoring player, Jack Hughes, said the men's team was excited to attend. So he's an asshole. Once at the White House, they met with Trump, and some of the players posed with MAGA hats.
Hmm.
I saw a video where they were eating McDonald's,
Yeah,
but in today's world, anything could be AI, but I'm saying that was probably real because Trump loves McDonald's. And
and
that's
that's what I've
really
heard
embarrassing.
too,
Yeah,
that they got a McDonald's dinner. So,
gross. Yeah.
yeah. And so
Uh,
the women's team declined, right? The
uh-huh.
invitation, rightfully so. Like,
hmm They
good
said
on
that
them for
they
doing
had
that.
scheduling conflicts, even though that's not
Yeah.
why they declined. Yeah.
Well, the team captain Hillary Knight recently was interviewed at a like press conference, and they asked her about it, and she said it was unfortunate that he said that. And then she said, now I because of what he said, like kind of saying it's taken away from their win, and now I have to explain someone else's behavior. It's not my responsibility. And
hmm
I loved that she said that because yeah, let him explain his behavior. She shouldn't have to say like, anything about it.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, we're gonna have to pause here for a second because Blake
Yeah.
is kicking me out of Zoom. So yeah, to add on to what you were saying about that, uh, this article that I was reading, I thought it was about like five U.S. hockey players that said no because they disagreed with Donald Trump. It was just one of those stupid headlines that's trying to get you to click. It was basically
Uh,
like five that couldn't go for whatever reason. And
that's what I thought. Because I
yeah,
had heard that there was five that didn't go, but they didn't really say why.
so
And so
one
I
of
was like, I'm not going to praise you yet.
right. So one of them was let's see, Jake Odinger said it was a tremendous honor, which, okay, whatever. Um, and he said, I didn't go because I have a 3-month-old baby at home, but he gets points for being a good dad, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess it's good. Sure.
and then
Whatever.
as for the phone call, he said, my opinion on that is there's no one that supports women's hockey more than me. I know a lot of those girls personally. Well, he calls them girls, which you lose points for that. And I think if you would have been at a bar watching the game with me where I was watching women's hockey, there was no one as excited as me when they won the gold medal. So they're incredible and they deserve all the credit in the world. They're dominant, and I was just so happy for those girls. So he's like most of these guys, is trying to be like non-political about it.
Yeah,
But everything is political. Social justice issues are political because you elect these people that are either going to make them worse or do something about it. Like, I don't understand,
exactly.
like, oh no, let's not make sports political, like you were saying. Like, everything is political.
Everything is political. Everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's what
Every damn
democracy
thing.
is. It's like, it's frustrating.
Very frustrating.
I did see though there was at least one that was like, yeah, I didn't go because I didn't want to support that. But
Okay. See, that's what I want to know. Who was that?
m-
Because he deserves to be recognized. That's what we need. Someone who's going to say, I don't support what he said. I don't support what he stands for.
Hmm.
And that's what's needed.
Hmm. And again, that
Not
also could,
the in between, in the middle, like, I'm gonna not say anything because that says a lot.
think it was in my Instagram because um my son was like really disappointed. Because he was like, man, I thought it was funny. He was like, I thought all of those I thought all professional sports players were like anti-Trump. And I was like, why do you think that? I think he was just generalizing all like professional athletes and
Yeah,
like this group of like he loves all of them. So in his little head, they're all
they were
good
all good
people.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I found it, and his name it was Jake Gunsel, but he was one of the five that here. Let me go back up. They all have names like Jake and Jackson. Oh, here it is, Jake. He said, it was kind of a timing thing for me. I was definitely not denying the request to go. It was obviously a dream come true to go. I was fortunate to go in 2017 when Trump was in office. He plays for the
Mm,
Tampa Bay Lightning. He added, we've got a lot of games coming up, so it's going to be a tough schedule. So 2 weeks of Olympic break, that would be good to go home, rest, recover, and spend some time with the family. So that, see,
nope.
this is a good
Mm-mm.
lesson of don't believe everything you see on social media.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds like he would have liked to have gone.
Yeah, because he went in 2017. So
Yeah.
whatever.
So
Yeah.
no.
Hmm.
Did you see that Flavor Flav invited the women's hockey team to
Yes.
Las Vegas, and then he extended that invitation to all the Olympic players,
And
including,
Paralympians.
that's what I was gonna say, yes.
Yep. Flavor Flav is my new fave.
Yep. I saw someone say he's what everyone thinks Snoop Dogg is. Because
Oh,
Snoop Dogg loves to be at the Olympics, but we don't really rock with him anymore because he's come out as a Trump supporter
I
and
can't
has
believe
said some
that.
homophobic stuff. So
I
he
mean,
used to talk so bad about him. I don't know what's up with, like, I don't know what kind of money they're throwing at these people because he used to be anti-Trump and
yeah,
then
what
he
the heck
became
happened?
pro-Trump. Same like with Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, she's really gone
So
off. Hmm.
it's very weird. It's got to be some sort of financial deal that's being made or something because I just can't believe that there, I can't fathom not liking him, but now liking him because what the fuck has he done that would make you like him now? If
Yeah, I don't
anything,
know.
I would feel like you would hate him more now.
I think you're right. I think it comes back to the money. It's like the same reason Taylor Swift doesn't want to not be a billionaire. It's like these celebrities get this like thing in their head that like more money, money, money. Like the bottom line is
Yeah.
money. It's like you have more money than you know what to fucking do with. Like you do
Yeah.
not need $1 billion. And I think it's probably the same thing with him. And honestly though, Flavor Flav isn't perfect either because I did some digging into him because I was like,
Yeah.
before I sing his praises. I'm gonna look into him. He didn't want to sing with it because he's a part of like a group, which I'm not remembering the name.
I can't remember
Um,
either.
I don't listen to. I mean, it's not bad music. I
I
just don't listen.
do, but I can't
Yeah.
think of it.
Um. Anyway, well, it'll come to us. But anyway,
Yeah.
he didn't want to play for free. He didn't want to play benefit concerts for Bernie Sanders. And the other people in this group were like, no, we definitely want to do this. They're a lot more progressive, I guess, than Flava Flav was.
Really?
Yeah. So I did some light research, and it was basically Flava Flav was the only one that was like, I don't want to keep doing these free concerts. And I think it's because
He
of the
was part of
money.
Public Enemy?
Public Enemy. There you go.
Oh shit. That would have I would have never guessed that one, even though I know duh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, don't really listen to the music. I don't think it,
Yeah.
don't hate it, but especially, I tend to like those left-leaning groups. Not Dems because uh being a Dem doesn't automatically mean that you care and are doing what's best for our country as a whole.
Right.
Um, and I'm kind of jumping around here, but I saw something today, or was it yesterday? During the State of the Union, Elizabeth Warren, a Democrat, and other Democrats gave Trump a standing fucking ovation.
Really?
Yeah. They were applauding his posturing around possible war with Iran over the false claim that Iran is not relenting on building a nuclear bomb. So basically, also like it's basically it's about the stuff that's going on in Iran, and like they had nuclear weapons capabilities
Yeah.
and then we bombed them and now they
I
don't
remember
anymore.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a bunch of like people who actually know what they're talking about was like, Iran's not building nuclear bombs anymore. And Trump is like, oh no, yes they are. Yes they are. But like, and then Warren stands up and applauds him because it's bipartisan support. It's like something that they can all agree on. It's like, yeah, we don't want
Right.
Iran to build nuclear weapons. Well, no shit. Nobody wants anybody building nuclear fucking weapons, and Iran is not doing that, according to these actual experts who did the research. And this was what I'm
Right.
saying is from a article, a Reuters article or an Associated Press. I can't remember which one, but I'll link it in the show notes. Because
Yeah.
it's a very well researched article. And anyway, that's my rant on why Democrats suck.
Yeah. And I like Elizabeth Warren normally, but like
Normally.
I mean, they're not
Yeah.
perfect. None of them are. And
Yeah.
I like them for what they say sometimes, but sometimes their actions, I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, yeah, and it's like they can be doing so much more than
Right.
they're just posturing. They're
At least they
pretending,
left the paddles at home this time.
Yeah, well, no, there was, and I
No?
can't blame this guy for doing this. I'm gonna forget his name, but and I don't blame him for doing this, but he held up a sign that said, black people are not apes because of Trump's very racist um
Yeah.
commercial. I don't know about
The
all the
retweet that he did or
yeah, it was like
repost.
we talked about that in our last episode where like
Yeah.
they were all portrayed as animals, with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama being apes, I guess. Al Green was ejected from the Trump State of the Union after holding a sign that said "Black people are apes," which I can't blame him for doing that. But
No.
that's just another example of this posturing. It's like, well, what else can you do, Al?
Right.
And here's a good example. It is an act because like these lawmakers, these
The New Jersey
legislators,
Act.
yes, they can actually do shit. And sometimes we forget that they can do shit, right? It's called the Fight Unlawful Conduct and Keep Individuals and Communities Empowered Act.
And what
And
is the acronym for that?
it's an
Fuck
acronym for
ICE.
Fuck ICE. Yeah. And so it was proposed by New Jersey, by the New Jersey General Assembly, which is basically is it the House or the Senate? I don't fucking know.
Mm.
But they're, whatever, they're legislators. And it was two people. One of them is really awesome. She's a lady, and I want to tell you about her. Her name is Katie Brennan, and she's the sponsor, one of the sponsors of this act, right? Which again, going back to my previous point, lawmakers can come up with these awesome acts, such as fuck ice, right? And
Right.
Elizabeth Warren and like all these other Dems, we need to see a lot more of this, and we're just not seeing enough, in my opinion. But back to Katie Brennan. Um, she's young. She's 38 years old, and she was raped by a politician, right? Someone
Oh,
on
oh wow.
a campaign, right? And she sued him, and she had to settle this lawsuit. The money that she got, let me just pull up an article so I'm not like saying the wrong thing here, but like she donated the money she got from the lawsuit to like an organization that helped victims of sexual assault. And she's because one of our followers on Instagram was educating me about this. Her handle is Florida. Let me make sure I get that one right too. Two Florida girls. Yeah. And she's pretty awesome if you haven't checked out her profile, and we kind of talk sometimes. But anyway, she was educating me about how men rarely ever serve jail time for rape, which we knew. And so Katie Brennan, as a way to get around that, which my mind is like blown right now, is making him do restorative justice, which is, you know, something that she can do to force him to address his behavior and hopefully make real restitution and change, which
Hmm.
ha that is like a huge thing for a survivor to do. I mean, I'd
Still would
rather
prefer
him
jail
be in
time,
jail.
but I
Yeah,
guess
I would
it's
prefer
something
jail time.
better than nothing. Or like, I don't know, lock me in a room with him for an hour with his legs and hands bound. I
Oh
need a little
man.
more than just he gets to take a class.
So yeah, I'm with you. This is like, and I found this out today,
I
and
mean, I
I
don't mean
didn't
to
have time.
downplay what she's doing because anything is still, like I said, better than nothing,
Hmm.
but I
Hmm.
still need more.
But I don't think that's the thing. It's like she sued
Yeah.
or she like tried to press charges and like there was a lawsuit and it didn't result in jail time,
Yeah.
which is terrible. But so the former campaign volunteer whose explosive rape allegations led to legislative hearings and promised reforms, she settled her lawsuit against the state. So I guess she sued the state for $1 million. And so the state and Murphy for Governor Incorporated, which was the campaign in which where the incident occurred, will pay a total of $1 million, with 600,000 going to a charity of Brennan's choice and $400,000 to her attorneys. Neither side admitted any wrongdoing, which is just the system is broken.
There can be
Um,
video evidence and they'll still
it won't
be like,
fucking.
well, he was a good kid, so we don't want to ruin her
Yeah,
future. So it doesn't really
exactly.
matter.
So it
Like
is a
that's,
broken system. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
So the money she donated goes towards the Waterfront Project, which is a nonprofit group in Hudson County that will use the donation to help low-income survivors of sexual assault. Um,
That's good.
and then the rest of the fucking article is behind a paywall. Why is everything behind? I get it, people need to make money, but I don't have this kind of money. I can't just pay for
I know.
every article I put out.
I know.
But I just think that it's very like, I don't know, just brave
Oh
and
yeah,
amazing of her to do what she can when the real justice would be him going to jail.
right.
So,
Yeah. No, more power to her. And I think it's great that we keep finding ways to hold them accountable and that she's
hmm
doing that. That's
hmm
awesome. 100%
hmm
awesome. I just think it sucks that all that she
totally
did and still all she's getting is he's going to have to take some classes and pay some money. You
right.
know,
Hmm.
it sucks.
Yeah.
It still sucks for her, you know?
She's an awesome person to follow. Looks like she's got I mean, yeah, like if you've just Google her name, read some articles. I think there's a YouTube video where she offers her prescription to fix toxic culture. So she's sort of making it her thing. So all power to her. And that just goes back to what I was saying about how these lawmakers that are elected by us can be doing more.
Yeah.
What were we saying way before that? Because I feel like I got us completely
We were
off.
talking about the State of the Union, right? And how Democrats don't do enough.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, And then we were talking about the hockey players that showed up to the State of the Union,
Hmm.
which I'm not sure what they were doing there, what their purpose was.
Yeah, because I thought they
Um,
were just going to the White House for dinner, and then that's when I saw them eating McDonald's, which
my guess would be like, oh, come to the State of the Union because he thought it would make him look better to have them there, maybe.
yeah, but these were two different days, I thought. I mean, I could be getting
Oh,
my
really?
days mixed up, but I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure I saw the McDonald's thing before the State of the Union because that was on Tuesday, but anyway,
Oh, so they
yeah.
spend some extra days there just
I
for
don't
that,
I don't know. I could be wrong there, but
which is again funny considering that they're not into politics, and
mhm. Yeah.
so
Hmm.
convenient that, they were there.
Hmm.
Now, I will say, we need to watch more women's hockey.
Hmm.
I do want to watch more sports because I'm not big on watching sports. Like I watch the Super Bowl, but I don't watch the games that lead up to it.
No. Yeah.
And every once in a while there will be something that makes me want to get into a sport. So like when the Kelsey brothers were popular before they kind of weren't as popular,
Hmm.
I was interested in football and I started watching more games
Hmm.
leading up to the Super Bowl. This book, along with other hockey romances and the women's team doing so well in the Olympics, it's getting a lot of people who want to start watching hockey games. So now that we know that men are shit, not all men, but good
Most
portion
of
of
them.
them,
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them.
Hmm.
Instead of watching the NHL, we can watch the PWHL. And don't ask me what that stands for, but it's the Women's Hockey League.
Professional Women's Hockey League,
Professional,
probably.
that's what the P stands. Yeah. Professional Women's Hockey League. And
Uh,
their games actually their season starts now. So there's
That's
a game
awesome.
tonight.
Let's watch
Today's
it.
Thursday, the 20th. Yeah, so in a couple of minutes, it's going to start at 7.
I'm gonna
So we
make
can get
Blake
on
get
and
me
watch
whatever
it.
network. What network do you have to watch it? You have to have some like a special
I have
network,
no
probably.
idea.
Damn it. It's probably like ES.
Probably. I think I might have I know that for the Super Bowl I had to get what was it? Peacock. So it might be on there, maybe.
Let's see. I'm doing it right now. You can watch PWHL games on various platforms, including TSN, I don't have. CBC, I don't have. Prime Video, also don't have. Oh, wait, that's for Canada. Well, fans in the US can stream games on YouTube, see, and through local sports
Mm,
networks. Some games, that's the thing about sports, like only some games are available on things like
yeah.
Fubo and DirecTV. I
Huh.
don't understand, like, why we can't just put all the sports games on one sports channel and just buy the
Right.
sports channel and then if you're a sports fan, you got all the sports in one place. It's
I'm
like
gonna sign into
Netflix
my
for
Peacock and
sports.
see if I can if it's on there. Give me a sec.
Yeah. While you're
I'm
doing
curious.
that, um, speaking of women's sports, the WNBA had some fun news regarding money. Let's see. I'm gonna get it. Hold on. I gotta be able to say this right. Basically, like they made enough money now that they can start sharing their money with like in bonuses with their players.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Which to some people who don't really know much about it might be like, well, what do you mean they didn't do that before? And the answer is no, because here it is. They don't make nearly as much revenue as NBA, right? In terms of ads and, tickets and stuff. Did you
Yeah.
find what you were looking for?
No.
Whatever, people
No.
can Google. Find a way to watch women's sports because it really is evolving. It's changing. It's getting better, especially WNBA, with Caitlin Clark and, all her popularity. Not just Caitlin Clark, there's a lot of other amazing WNBA players that I can't name because I'm not the biggest fan, but uh for the first time in WNBA history, uh they hit this financial milestone where players across all 13 teams from the 2025 season get to split $8 million, which doesn't seem like that much, but it's
It
the
seems like a
first time
lot
that
to
they've
me.
ever, right, across, I don't know how many players on 13
Yeah.
teams, like how many players are on 13 teams. By the time you get down to it, it'll still be a
It's not
hefty
a
chunk of
lot. Yeah.
change, but yeah, for us. But Caitlin Clark makes a ton of money because she's got all these ad spots, right? But not
Yeah.
every player in the WNBA
No.
has that. But, you know, all the players in the NBA make a shit ton of money, even if they don't have ad spots. It's
Right.
because they just bring in more. But anyway, the point of this is, women's sports are getting bigger. And I think a lot of that has to do with the shift that we're seeing towards, away from this male dominated society and more towards an equal society where, hey,
Yeah.
things can be equal.
Right. I do need to do my part and watch more female women sports
Hmm.
and not so much male dominated sports. So, or that's not what I meant. Not male dominated.
No,
The
yeah,
male
I know what you
version
mean.
of the sport is what I
Yeah.
meant.
Sports. It's not for everyone. Hey, we can root the sports on and not watch it too. Like, no, that's
And
not
I'll
true.
tell
We should
you,
probably watch.
women are badasses.
Yeah.
Like even when I would see games like soccer games, again, the men's soccer team is very popular, like especially in like Latin culture, we love to
Hmm.
watch soccer games.
Hmm.
Um, but when I see videos of women playing, they they don't fuck around.
Yeah.
And they will
Women's
take a
soccer is.
hit
Hmm.
and they are aggressive and they don't cry. The
Mhm.
men love to throw themselves on the floor and they're so dramatic over every little hit.
Uh-huh.
And women are like, no, I'm not falling to the ground for that. I'm going to keep playing, you know?
Yeah, because they
And I'm
have
not
to
saying that the
be.
men are really hurt. They're just so
Yeah,
fucking dramatic, wanting to get a foul or something or
right.
whatever those are called, penalty.
Hmm.
Um, and the women don't do that. Very
Hmm.
rarely do you see women do that. They take
Yeah,
a hit, they get up, they keep going. They're badasses.
yeah. And it's because, you know, one of the biggest lies that we've been told is that women can't control their emotions. And that's why there's not a female president. And that is like the one of the biggest lies that a lot of us like believed. And it's a lot of us still believe it. And it's like saying like, oh, America is an equal nation, you know,
Right.
when they wrote their constitution. Like that's a huge lie, right? And that women are too emotional is just another lie that we're adding onto it. Like when we talk about the 1619 Project, I'm going to talk more about that because um in 1984 when we talked about that by George Orwell, it's
Right.
like it's just like once your eyes are opened to all of these lies, you wonder how you ever believed them in the first place, you know?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I don't
It's
know. I
like
feel like
what?
sometimes it's just how it's not even how you grew up because I didn't know what feminism was when I was a little girl.
Mhm.
I just, as a little girl, was like, what do you mean I can't do it because only
Yeah.
men do it?
Yeah.
I just never bought into it before I knew
Yeah.
what feminism was, or
Same. Yeah. I was the same way. And I
I
think a
was just
lot
like,
of girls are
no,
like, and I think a lot of girls are like that, like, especially in our generation, but they were sort of like prevented that, that behavior was, quote, corrected, so that they could be that pretty quiet little
yeah,
submissive wife, and but on the flip side of that, there's been lots of women throughout history that have said that and have really, paved the way so that we can be where we are today,
hmm
which still isn't where I wish that we were, but hey, it's still progress. It's progress.
yeah.
I forgot to say this when we were talking about heated rivalry. I just came across it when I was looking through my Instagram stories. Um, in honor of Hudson Williams' birthday, who is probably is he one of the stars on the TV show Heated Rivalry? Do you know,
Oh,
or do you know?
maybe.
Um,
I know one is Connor, and I think he plays Ilya.
okay.
And then the other one might be, yeah, I'm not sure. I
Well,
think so.
okay. So, Heated Rivalry fans raised over $63,000 for a Canadian children's hospital.
Wow.
Williams said that the children's hospital in Vancouver saved his life when he was a little baby. So, I just thought it was kind of like a feel-good story that is
Yeah.
associated with a gay hockey romance.
See, and that's where fandoms can be really good,
Yeah,
you know?
and inclusivity
Yes,
and visibility.
100%. And
Oh,
this is where they could also use their voice. Like they already are, right? By taking this role, they're making they're making waves and they're showing that this is normal and it's okay. And the fact that it's been received so positively is going to make open doors so that there's more shows that are more inclusive
yeah. And they're not
and
going to be
show,
as like, yeah, they won't be like cast so aside as like wrong or
right.
inappropriate, like it's becoming more of a norm. And it's hard to see that. It's hard to like step back and see the forest when, like all you see you're in the middle of the woods and like all you see are the
Yeah.
trees. But I don't know, that's just the optimist in me trying to hold on to hope. So,
Yeah. Oh, I've been very hopeful lately.
yeah,
I
that's
I
good.
definitely feel like there's a shift. Um, yeah, it's still gloomy out there. There's still horrible things happening, but I love seeing the stories of people who are standing up against everything that's happening, speaking up, fighting, literally fighting against what's happening.
Yeah. Oh, I have a good example of that. I think you saw it, but it was like, um, people. Here it is, right here. Community organizers stopped 12 ICE warehouse sales, preventing a total of 41,500 detention beds. Did you see that?
I did, yeah.
I don't know
And
how they
that's
did that.
amazing. Like we
They're
are
doing more
able
than our
to make a
lawmakers.
change. Yeah. Look at,
Like,
I mean, if you look at what's going around, look at the kids that are out. And again, I think I've spoken about this in the past. The kids that are out there protesting and doing walkouts, they are like, I will not skip a video of these kids who are
mm-mm.
out protesting. They bring me
Yeah.
so much joy because I'm like, the future is there.
hmm
We're gonna be okay. Like
hmm
this is the future.
Even though we have pricks like Ron DeSantis that are basically threatening to fire teachers if they have anything to do with it and
Right.
encouraging parents to rat on them, even though we have pricks like that, it's still they're still going to be okay, and they're paving the way for progress.
Yeah.
They're doing it, and we're proud of them. It's awesome.
So proud.
Yeah.
Like I am so proud of these kids.
hmm
Proud of everyone that's out there doing what they're doing,
hmm
because it's giving me so much hope. Like keep at
Yeah.
it. You guys are doing great.
My algorithm, I swear, it's probably I've just been like, following like a lot of the positive accounts out there just because I need it.
Yeah.
So that's maybe why I've been a little bit more hopeful because I'm like, oh, this is a good news story.
Yeah.
But
My
there,
algorithm literally is, well, it's finally switched a little, but it used to be all Super Bowl halftime shows,
now it's
you
all
know,
hockey.
all Bad Bunny. It was all Cardi B because she's on tour and I love Cardi B. And then it's been the kids walking out of school protests, doing walkouts and protesting ICE. So
Nice.
it's been like a really good uplifting. And then Cardi B also always speaks out against the
hmm
administration, against
hmm
ICE. And
hmm
she's just so funny. If you guys aren't watching her, she got into it
I
with the
gotta
White House. Did you see that?
no, I gotta follow her. I saw when she fell off the chair and she was like, that was the government, and that was
Yes.
funny. I don't know if that was an old one or not, but that was funny.
No, no, that's from this
That was
this
from her tour.
yeah, this
Okay.
tour.
Uh-huh.
And she in her very first one was talking joking 'cause she's so funny. If you don't know, she's very funny. Talking about ICE better not come for her people, like at her
Oh, that's
concert.
right.
If they
I
come in
saw that.
here, we're jumping them and she's being funny.
Uh-huh.
And so then the White House or DHS, one of those
DHS, yeah.
groups, made a post talking about her like past or like history, run-ins with the law or something, but they don't know her. She's really smart. Like
hmm
people underestimate her because of the way she speaks,
hmm
and they think that she's not smart. She is very smart,
hmm
very smart. So she clapped back at them really quick and was like, "You guys are worried about my past, but you still haven't arrested anybody in the Epstein files. How about you focus on that?" And like she came back at them. I'll have to find the tweet and you
I
could add
saw
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
We should find it and post it anyway because that was hilarious. I
yeah.
love that. Yeah.
Don't come for
She's
her because
mm-mm.
she'll put you in your place real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. She's amazing. She's like canceling out everything Nicki Minaj is doing.
Yes. Yeah. And they're kind of rivals, right? They
hmm
don't
You
like
know
each
who else
other.
hates Nicki Minaj? Mariah Carey.
Oh, yeah.
hmm So
And
that's my
Mariah Carey
algorithm.
sometimes, you don't know how she is because she could be a little like snobbish
Mariah
and
Carey.
kind of, yeah.
hmm hmm
But she's
She's
not a
quiet.
bad person.
No, she's quiet. Like she's quiet. She wasn't quiet when Breonna Taylor died. I remember that.
Right.
But like she's not quiet about like when it comes like she does try to like stay out of it, but when she doesn't stay out of it, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's also one that where it's like kind of like surprising smart, because sometimes she acts really like she doesn't there's a interview out there where she doesn't know what a bill is.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
but then she is actually really smart.
haven't seen that.
It's funny. She's kind of a ditz, but I love her so much. Um,
Yeah. And I mean, you can't take away she's so talented.
yeah, she writes all of her. I saw something somewhere where it was like she was like one of the only artists that, in terms of songwriting, like she writes some percentage of her own songs and produces
I didn't
them,
know that.
and she has a grunge album from the
Yeah.
90s, which I think I talked about on this
I
before.
think
That
the only thing she's had negative going against her was that ad that she did during Christmas with
mm-mm.
a makeup brand
Oh, I don't know.
who, So that was kind of like the only negative thing I've seen about
Hmm.
her
See, it just
recently.
goes back to money. Like these
Yeah.
celebrities, like their brains have been rewired so that all they want is money, money, money. Like
Yeah.
you'll always find something,
I
like
know.
yeah, it sucks. But
That's
um my algorithm, since we're talking about that, I think I've said this before, follow Good 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 Co. It's three goods CO. Um and they have a lot of stuff. So I wanted to give a shout out to this particular one because Black History Month. A federal judge ordered the Trump administration to restore the slavery exhibit at George Washington's former home in Philadelphia. The judge wrote, as if the Ministry of Truth in George Orwell's 1984 now existed with its motto, ignorance is strength, this court is now asked to determine whether the federal government has the power it claims to dissemble and disassemble historical truths when it has some domain over historical facts. It does not. And that's basically smart people speak, which, man, why do these judges have to be so smart? Right? But basically that like you don't have the power to change history. And here
right.
I am, a judge telling you you don't have the power to change history. And you're trying to change history by removing and that wasn't the only case. Like I think
Yeah.
there were a lot of like statues
No.
moved and yeah. So at
They
least some of them are
removed
getting put back.
all of them. Yeah. And I'm glad to see that because that was really screwed up that they would go in and take those exhibits down. Like,
Mhm.
you can't tell me this administration isn't racist and they're going out of their way to do this.
Mhm.
Like, no. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a win, you know?
It is a win, but it's also, like you said, it's important to know that, like, or to note that, like, this is one win, but like, there's still 12 injustices that have not been fixed, in that particular case, like with taking down the monuments and stuff. But yeah, we got to take wins where we
Yeah.
can get them, I guess. Oh, another win. Oh, wait, you're frozen
Here's the
for
thing
some.
though, with this administration,
Come back. You came
am
back.
I?
You came back.
I'm gonna keep talking anyways. With this administration, they love to flood the system with all the things, right? Because then we can't focus on one single thing because they are throwing so much crap at us. And we've talked about this before. But overall, their record for wins are very small. Because just
True.
about everything that they do gets turned. A judge
Mm-hmm.
is like, nope, you can't do that. Nope, you
Mm-hmm.
can't do that. The thing is, by the time it happens, we've moved on to whatever bullshit they're doing now.
That's great.
So we
Smoke
don't
and
realize
mirrors.
all the wins we're having, but
Mm-hmm.
we really are having wins. That's
Mm-hmm.
just their like propaganda machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to keep throwing shit out there. And
Yep.
their supporters love it because it's all racist bullshit. And so they're
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, we love this. Keep at it. He's doing a great job. But they don't realize he's costing them millions and millions in legal fees and he keeps losing and
Mm-hmm.
just he's a disaster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And that's
the
my only
approval.
hope is that, we don't see it because it doesn't seem like it, but it does seem like the justice system is working somewhat. Even his own,
Slowly, yeah.
yeah,
And we said this. We said this is going to be a test to see how well the justice system, the judicial arm of the government, is going to work. And it is slow, but I obviously, it's not perfect, but it's
no,
definitely doing some things, you know. So
yeah.
that's good.
And he's pissed off at the Supreme Court now, even the
Yeah.
people that he put in place because
Yep.
they voted against something he wanted.
The
And
tariffs.
the tariffs, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. But now I read somewhere like, sure, that's a win, but now like all that money's going back to the corporations,
Yeah.
not us.
Yeah. And I've already seen like corporations saying that, well, they already know we're willing to pay
Hmm.
the higher
Yeah.
amounts.
Hmm.
So even if they lower it, they're not going to go back to what their regular prices were. They're still going to remain higher than they were before
Right.
because they can do it.
Yep.
And we're not going to get any of the money that we overspent
Hmm.
back, which
Yep.
sucks, but
There's just so many things to talk about, and we got to wrap it up because
yeah.
Blake kicked us off of the professional Zoom license so he could do his podcast, and so now we have a minute
Mhm.
before we get kicked off. But I want to say one other thing, another win since we're talking about these wins.
Yeah.
Prince Charles, that's a win. It's
And
Prince
there's been a
Charles, right?
few. Yeah, no, wait, Prince Charles is his cousin or whatever, right? From the Epstein files?
Yeah. Who got arrested?
Andrew, Prince Andrew.
Andrew. Oh my God. I'm
He got
sorry.
arrested. There's been a few other arrests, but they
King
have all.
Charles is, yeah, is the brother who was like, arrest that guy. I don't care that he's my brother. Sorry.
So yeah, there have been a few arrests, just none have happened here in the US. The
Yeah.
US just
Yeah.
still hasn't done jack shit about the Epstein
That's what I
files.
was gonna say about my algorithm. It's like, oh, everywhere in the fucking world can
No.
have justice but America.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not all rainbows yet, but hey, progress and hope
Right.
and all the things. But yeah, thanks for listening. Stay tuned next time for the 1619 project and more of this, whatever you want to call it. And don't ban books.
Ban bigots. This episode has been engineered and mixed by your hosts, Jennifer and Courtney.
You can listen to the Milford Books podcast on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, or literally any podcast app you want.
Check out our Milford Books YouTube page. That's MILF, the number 4, books. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Follow the show on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and Blue Sky at MILF for Books. Again, that's MILF, the number 4, books. But follow us on TikTok at Moms Into Literary Freedom.